Hello everyone, my name is Lucy. Welcome to my channel Simple Sunday Afternoons. In this video I'm going to be showing you how I make yellow plantain canoes stuffed with ground pork. Please join me in my kitchen to make this delicious dish. I'm preparing one yellow plantain for each serving or each person. Let's compare it with the banana. The banana you can eat raw. And the plantain have very pronounced ridges and has black spots. The black spots indicates that the plantain is ripe and sweet. And I'm going to be using about 2 pounds of ground pork, but you can use beef, ground turkey or ground veal. 1 cup or 1 can of diced tomatoes with the juice. 1/2 of a diced large onion, 1 tablespoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of pepper, 5 to 6 mashed garlic cloves, 1/4 of a cup of parsley, 1/2 of a green bell pepper, 2 ounces or 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1/2 of a diced long green pepper, and they look like this one, about 1/4 of a cup of diced green onions, and this is optional for garnishing, 1/2 of a diced red bell pepper, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 1/4 of a cup of dark brown sugar, some spice cloves, and I'm using about 8 or 10 of them, and make sure you remove them before you serve your dish, and 1 cup of melted warm butter. All of these are the ingredients I'm going to be using. Many of them are optional, and you can see the list right below this video. I'm preheating the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I'm going to peel off the skin of the plantains. Slice the skin with a knife from one end to another, and then peel off the skin, and they come out pretty easy. While the butter is still warm, I'm going to mix the sugar with the butter so it can blend well together, and the cloves. And I'm going to pour this mixture over the plantains. If you prefer not to add sugar to your meal, that's fine, nothing will happen. Just use butter and pour it over the plantains. As I previously mentioned, many of these ingredients are optional, and nothing will happen if you decide not to add sugar or not to add the cloves. Once I finish pouring the butter mixture over the plantains, I'm going to place the plantains in the oven on cover for about 20 minutes, turning after the first 10 minutes. While the plantains cook in the oven, I'm going to be preparing the stuffing. In a deep pan, I'm going to pour the 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I'm going to brown the ground meat. Before the meat is fully cooked, I'm going to sprinkle with some salt and pepper. And I'm going to stir the meat frequently until it's fully cooked. Once the meat is fully cooked, then I start adding the other ingredients. The onions, the garlic, the red pepper, the green pepper, and this green pepper is optional. The long green pepper. I like the long green pepper because it adds sweetness. And this is the parsley. The olives, and I'm using salad olives, and the capers. And those two last ingredients are optional as well. I also added the 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and now I'm adding the diced tomatoes. I'm also adding some sage and some thyme, and you can replace the thyme for dry oregano. I'm going to let it cook for about 5 minutes, and then the stuffing is done. After the first 10 minutes in the oven, I turn over to the other side the plantains. And I'm going to let them bake or cook for about 10 additional minutes. After about 20 minutes in the oven, the plantains are ready to be stuffed. I'm making a cut right in the center of the plantain, all the way to the center, making a canoe from one end to the other, and opening the plantain. Then I'm filling the center of the plantain with the ground meat stuffing. And I'm going to sprinkle with some cheese, and I'm going to place it in the oven just enough time for the cheese to melt for about 5 minutes. And my yellow plantain canoes are ready to be served. I hope you like this recipe and you try soon. If you like this recipe and want to see more, please subscribe. I hope to see you next week.